If you've ever been frustrated by slow Wi-Fi or a weak cell signal, then this science project is for you. You will use two little programmable boards called microbits that can send wireless signals to each other and investigate different factors that affect the strength of these signals. If you've never used a microbit before or prefer written instructions, check those out linked in the description of this video. The rest of the video will show you how to program two microbit boards, one to act as a transmitter and one to act as a receiver so you can measure the signal strength. First, we'll show you how to program your transmitter microbit. This is the microbit that will send a signal to the other microbit when you press a button. We'll be doing this in a graphical programming environment called Microsoft MakeCode. If you haven't used MakeCode before, again, check out the link to the written instructions in the description of this video that will send you to the Getting Started tutorials you can do before you do this project. First, we'll look at the OnStart block. This block contains code that just runs once when your microbit first powers up. It should be there by default when you start a new program, but if you lose it or accidentally delete it, you can find a new one under Basic. In this block, we are going to add two blocks from the radio menu, which you can find here. You can also click on More to access more blocks related to the microbits radio. We're going to add one for Radio Set Group 1. We need to set this for both microbits so they are on the same group because microbits set to different radio groups cannot communicate with each other. We are also going to use the Radio Set Transmit Power block, and I'm going to set the power to 7, which is the maximum for this example, but you might want to change it for your experiment and set it to something lower. Next, we're going to add an On Button A Pressed block, which you can find under Input. The code inside this block will only run when you press button A. Now, we could just use a forever block to make our microbit broadcast continuously, but since we want to do a more controlled experiment, we want it to only send a radio message when we press the button, so it's sort of like sending a text message. So inside this block, you could just use the radio send number block. This is going to make the radio effectively broadcast a message that sends the number 0, but if that's all you did, then you wouldn't be able to really see or hear that your microbit is working. So I have added a few more blocks here to give both an audible and visual indication that the message has been sent. So first I have a play tone block that I got from the music menu here, although you could choose a different sound or a different melody. And then I also have a show icon block with a check mark. I then pause for 1000 milliseconds, which is equal to 1 second, and then clear the screen. Without that pause there, it would just show the icon really quickly and immediately clear the screen, so you might not even see the check mark. So the tone and the show icon, again, will not totally necessary for this to work, give you a nice confirmation that the microbit has registered the button press and then sent the radio message. Once you have this program written, you can download it to one of your microbits, then disconnect that microbit from the USB cable and power it with a battery pack instead, because to do the experiment, you're going to want to move your transmitter microbit around the room. Next, you're going to start a new MakeCode program and write the program for your receiver. This program is also pretty simple. We have an OnStart block with Radio Set Group 1 inside to make sure it is on the same group as the transmitter. And then we're going to get a on radio received receive number block from in the radio menu here. And again, you don't need to play the tone, but if you want an audio indication that the receiver has received the tone, it can be nice to have a tone or melody played there. And then we are going to do show number, which you can get under the basic menu here up at the top. Received packet signal strength, which you can find in the radio menu here, and this is going to scroll that number across the microbit's screen. So the microbit only has a 5x5 grid of LEDs, so it can't really display multiple characters at once, but it can scroll a number across the screen. So when I press the button on the other microbit to send a signal, this microbit is just going to be waiting, but when it receives a radio message, it doesn't actually care what the number is. We have the other microbit broadcasting a 0, but this block is just going to activate if it receives any number. I'm not checking if it received a 0. I'm going to play a sound and then show the signal strength on the screen. Once you've done that, you are ready to download this program onto your second microbit, which you can just leave plugged into the USB cable for power, but you can also disconnect it from the computer and power it from a battery pack if you need to move it somewhere else. So here I have my transmitter and receiver microbits, and you will see that when I press button A on the transmitter, it will beep and display a check mark, and then the signal strength will scroll across the screen on the receiver. Now, you might have noticed something strange about the signal strength. It is displaying a negative number. So to understand that, we need to talk a little bit about the units used to measure signal strength. The radio signal strength is measured in a unit called decibel milliwatts, and this unit is a little confusing for two reasons. First, it's a negative number, but all you need to remember for this project is that the farther away the number is from zero, or the bigger the absolute value of that negative number is, the weaker the signal. So for example, a signal of negative 25 is weaker than a signal strength of negative 19. So the closer you get to zero, the stronger the signal strength is. The second thing that is a little confusing and you probably won't get to until you take a high school math class is that decibel milliwatts are on a logarithmic scale and not a linear scale. And we're not going to worry too much about the details, but long story short, that means that an increase of 10 decibel milliwatts, abbreviated dBm, means that the signal strength increased by a factor of 10. So for example, a signal strength of negative 30 dBm is 10 times stronger than a signal strength of negative 40 dBm, which in turn is 10 times stronger than a signal strength of negative 50 dBm. So again, a little confusing depending on what level of math class you've taken yet. You probably haven't encountered logarithms. Again, mostly don't worry about it for this project. Just remember that a bigger negative number, or a number that is farther away from zero, means a weaker signal. A smaller negative number, or a number that is closer to zero, means you have a stronger signal. Now that you have your transmitter and receiver set up, you can do all sorts of experiments to measure what factors affect the strength of the signal. For example, you could try changing the distance between the transmitter and receiver, change their relative orientations, or put objects or obstacles in between the two microbits to see if they interfere with the signal. We're not going to give away those results in this video, but if you try this out yourself, let us know how it goes in the comments. Remember that for written instructions for this project, you can find a link in the video description. You can also find many more projects you can do with a microbit, as well as over 1,000 other projects in all areas of science and engineering on our website, www.sciencebuddies.org.